welcome to the Small Black Business Review, where I, Joelle, review small black businesses, their services, and their products. Today we are actually going to talk about a few tips for networking. I know that some of you guys are young entrepreneurs, people of color, never had anybody in your family to own a business, to kind of guide you in the business, to show you how to be professional, what to wear, what to say, or even connect you with networks. And what happens is a lot of us have to build these networks ourselves, but we don't know how. We don't have the guidance, the skills, or whatever the case may be. So I would like to give you some tips as a young entrepreneur on how to network. My very first tip on networking is to just breathe. I know a lot of us can get nervous in settings where you have to network, where you're forced to network. And so we forget to breathe, and we forget to say things, and we forget what's going on. We forget the name of people. So my first tip to you is just breathe. Breathe, relax. Everybody's there to network, which means you guys are all there for the same reason, so there's no reason for you to be nervous. So one thing that I suggest for you to do before you go into a networking event or environment is to, one, meditate, okay? If you can't meditate or don't know how, I suggest you take 3 big breaths right before you go in, whether that be in the bathroom, whether that be before you go in the actual building, or before you go into the actual room. Take 3 big deep breaths. That way it clears your mind, it calms your head, what's in your head, all of the things that are going on in your head, all the insecurities, and that way it levels out your energy. Okay? The second thing I suggest you do, and it kind of piggybacks off the first thing, is that while you're breathing, you might want to check your breath. Just check all of that. Make sure there ain't no halitosis. Go ahead and check your breath, and make sure you don't have no funky breath, because don't nobody want to conversate, negotiate, network with you, or even try to figure out your name if your breath is humming. So pop a piece of gum in your mouth, a Tic Tac, or whatever. Brush your teeth, even rinse your mouth out with Listerine in the bathroom before you go. Make sure your breath is on point, okay? The third tip that I have for you when it comes to networking is to set goals before you go into the networking event. So one of the things that I used to do is I used to be really nervous when networking. One of the things I used to do is set a goal number of people that I wanted to network with. So I'd start out with giving myself an easy number, like 3 people. 3 people that I give them my information, name, and then I get theirs in return. As time went on, I upped that number and upped the goal. So then instead of doing 3, I went up to 5. And instead of just getting to know their names, maybe one of the goals was out of the 5 people to set up maybe a lunch with them. So then that way we continue to network. So I would say set up some goals that you would like to attain before you enter the networking space. The third tip that I have for you is kind of around your goals. Depending on what your goals are, I would suggest that you seek an advisor. So especially if you're brand new, starting out your business or starting out an entrepreneur, you have no family members who are entrepreneurs, who are business owners, and you don't have a large network. Let's say you meet somebody at the networking event. I would say to you to put this as one of your goals, to look for an advisor. A business advisor would be really, really nice, and I think that you might be able to find a business advisor, one that you like, one that's up to your speed at networking events. So that's one of the things that I would put as a goal. But as far as when you find them, I would initiate the continued interaction with them. So let's say you meet at a networking event, I would reach out to them the next day, tell them thank you for meeting me and introducing me. Hey, let's go out for a drink. Hey, let's go out for lunch. Hey, let's go out for a walk. Hey, let's go do something. So then that way you can continue building on that network. The fourth tip that I have for you would be to try to remember people's names. I know it's really, really hard, especially when your heart is bumping and your head is full of thoughts and you're trying to remember all this stuff and try to take everything on. That's take everything in that's going on, I would still say try to remember names. And one of the ways that I learned to remember people's names is saying them, repeating them immediately after they told me. So if they were like, hi, my name is Cherie, I'd say, hey Cherie, nice to meet you. I have a cousin named Cherie. So then that way I can repeat it as many times as I could, so then that way it would stick with me a little bit more. And then that way, if you're saying it wrong or you're pronouncing it wrong, that person has the opportunity to correct you immediately. The other business tip, or the other networking tip that I would give you, would be to make sure that you have your business cards on hand, okay? And an etiquette around the business card. So one of the things I used to do when I first was trying to network is that I would get into a room of people doing the same thing as me, trying to network, and I just randomly just be passing on my cards and wouldn't really connect with the people. One of the things that I would say about bringing your business card to you or with you when you're trying to network would be to make sure you get that person's attention and make sure you connect with that person and have a real conversation with them before you just rush in and hand them your business card. Because what a lot of people do is they get a lot of business cards at networking events, and they get home and they're trying to decipher through them, and they can't really connect you to the business card. So one of the things I would say is to engage with that person first and then hand them your business card. And then maybe even on your way out, just, hey, don't forget to call me, I'm da-da-da-da from da-da-da company. Okay, so those are my really quick, easy tips that I would say that I not only use, that I think are really easy for you to use when it comes to networking as a small business owner or a brand new entrepreneur. Okay, and as always, if you know somebody of melanated descent, black, colored, Negro, whatever it is you want to call it, that is doing something dope in the community that can give back, please leave their information down below so that way I can do a video for you and get a review back for you. Until then, have a good one.